All right. Mic check, mic check. Looks good, right? Yeah, everything looks good. This move looks extremely bullish right now, guys. The tough part is, do you want to get in right now? Oh no, it's gone now. There it is. Good job. Good job, 930. I was watching this pre-market and I'm like, yo, this setup down here looks extremely bullish. All right. So what do we see coming into the market open? Let's break it down. That's nice, kid. That is nice. I love that move off the open. All right. And I'm looking at Nas and I'm seeing, all right. So, first things first, previous daily low. This is Friday, right? Friday has a nice drop here. Notice we swept that out with a nice V-shaped recovery. So that right there is a good reaction off of this Friday low. And notice we leave a lot of relative equal highs up in this area here next to that previous daily high. We got London's high still available from Monday, right? And you got the Asia high from last night. You got the London high still available. So first thing I noticed was, let me go to this 30-minute chart here and let me take a look at structure after we tap into this low. And you see nice accumulation at this low. You see a nice sweep. And then now you're seeing price give a decent move to continue here. And what I'm looking at is, how does price break this zone right here, right? So we see there's obvious support right here at the lows. All right, obvious support right here. However, there's obvious resistance right here at the London high as well. So if price wants to get higher, I would love to see price show some strength up in here for the first time, because every time price jabbed into here recently, it got a very strong rejection. So we can start getting nice 30-minute closure candles up above this area here. That's going to open the door for higher. And then I'll start looking for, at the very least, this weekly open retest or the Asia highs. But I really like to see how structure maintained here. If you pay attention, we have price sweeping this low. We get a bullish closure. If I zoom down into that bullish closure, you'll see a beautiful order block here. All right, price puts in a few down close candles. We close through those down close candles, and then we pull back to use this down close candle specifically as support. And this is where I was like, yo, price is bullish. It was 850. I'm like, let's see what 930 does. Does 930 give you that manipulation move deep into here before going higher? Or does 930 just continue, and here you see 930 continue? Those types of moves are tough because you're essentially gambling if you get in before 930. You know what I mean? You really don't know. You really just don't know what 930 is going to present. So you sit back and you let it play out. And now that we see it pushing higher, that's a good sign that we could get a continuation here. Wow. Really good sign we can get a continuation here. So how I'm looking at it is, all right, we took out this overnight high. We have this weekly open. We're going to start seeing some rejection soon. As you can see, this area right here is pretty good for some sort of resistance. So I want to see how price responds here. And then maybe we get an entry inside of this fair value gap. But price looks very strong right now. Good job, Nas. Good job. Nice. This is bro. If Price could give you these types of moves at the open all the time, oh my goodness, this was so clean. We didn't bother to manipulate these uh pre-market lows here. We did sweep and give SMT off of this low, which was nice, right? That was actually a really good buy signal. Seeing how Price responded after sweeping that low, that was very, very strong. But look at how big these candles are, kid. This one candle after the SMT was 95 points, not including the top wick. Including the top wick, it was 110 points. Crazy. Crazy, kid. Good speed. I'm loving it. Hope everyone had a good weekend here. So with this 30-minute candle close, you're obviously seeing price breaking out here. But no, if it gets a little bit too ahead of itself here and starts pushing into these bearish swing points here, then we're gonna look for rejection. Classic fake out higher, especially if it happens way too fast without any kind of pullback. And it makes sense how bullish price, bro. It's tough. Like hindsight is really a problem. You'll see this and you'll be like, bro, I knew that this was a very good buy setup, but some trades are just a lot more risky when you get in before the market open. This same setup can present tomorrow and NASDAQ could leach, which we've seen thousands of times where NASDAQ leaches way lower than it should and then skyrockets, stopping out anybody who was in pre-market. But this was the proper read, right? Like I said, coming into today's session, this low right here, Friday's low, gave a beautiful reaction. We broke structure once, right? And then we pull back to sweep those lows and show rejection again, showing you a double bottom here. Beautiful move. Beautiful move. Nice. So notice we're jabbing into this weekly open. We have a lot of time left in this 30-minute candle. So the more I look at this, the more it's like, well, good job, buyers. If you did place a buy, beautiful, beautiful catch. Really clean delivery for the buys this morning. And with the, The two things I can take from this are, with this lack of manipulation, we got a very small manipulation move at 930. Either that's telling us that price is extremely bullish and it's just going to run here, or that's telling us that you should expect a pullback because this move didn't manipulate enough. So we should at least rebalance before going higher. Okay. All right, let's see. Yeah, so I'll I'll step back here and give price a chance to build a little bit more structure to work with. As you can see, there's not much to trade off of. We have a series of bullish candles here inside of this current 30-minute candle here. So I would need to see price offer some bearish 5-minute closures before. There we go. That's what you want to see. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, we're going to get some bearish pressure here right off of that weekly open. All right, pushing right back into this fair value gap. And if we look down here, we had a 830 candle was the source of this move. So I'm going to highlight this range here to see how price responded. Once again, we close bullish, push into it, and we get this 5-minute gap here, which was filled on NASDAQ, was not filled on ES. Same thing over here. All right, so price could easily retest this zone, right? Can't count that out. And then you have boom, 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 push higher, fair value gap. And now you're getting this breakout here. I would love to see price retest this accumulation zone, or at least drive into this fair value gap. But first things first, I'm going to wait for this candle to close, because if we get a nice wick closure from this drive higher, that'll be something worth shorting. Really nice rejection. We'll see how these candles respond into this 5-minute imbalance here. But the first thing, like I said, that comes to my mind is this lacked manipulation all the way through. This lacked manipulation all the way through. And there goes your drive. There it goes. There it is. There it is. Nice drive, right? Now we're pushing back into this 930 open price, and we'll get to see if price can maintain this 930 price. Really nice. So I like how price is responding here. Give price a chance to finish printing this 30-minute candle. So that was, like I mentioned, this was your resistance here. All right, so I really want to see this 30-minute candle still offer a closure above. If not, that's going to be a problem for the buyers. So I really want to give price another 13 minutes or so to get comfortable here, get situated. All right, yeah, so we're chilling. I love this. I love this leak lower here because it's giving you a chance to revisit the buys, understanding that this level right here is already proven. All right. Oh my goodness, kid. I see people buying this dip here on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, why would you be buying this right now? But the reason why I'm just chilling, as I mentioned, we did break this high on the lower time frame. But as I mentioned, when you see 930 fail to give you a serious manipulation here, you should be expecting that manipulation at any moment. And here's your manipulation now. You're seeing price sweep out this low here. Okay. So with this low being swept, I want to know how price responds here. We might get a SMT, but we got a little bit of a uncertainty on our hands here, right? So let's see what we get here, man. Start the week with a lot of patience. Start the week with a lot of grace. We're chilling, right? No trades for me so far. I had one almost trade. I was gonna buy it here, but it was pre-market, and I'm not really that big on taking trades before 9:30. Really nice to see 9:30 push and offer. So now what do you notice, right? You see we push up into here. You want to look for SMT. We have SMT off of this high. So this could be exhaustion, technically. And then you have ES barely. Oh no, we didn't take that high. It looks like equal highs here. Let's zoom in. This is crazy. Look at this. Yeah, this is, nope, we did not take that high. So they're both leaving liquidity above. I love this. Yeah, this should go higher. This should go higher, guys. I like how we left this short-term high up here. So for me, I want to see, let's zoom down here. Which one's stronger? Let's identify the stronger asset. And at 9:30, we push up into that weekly open on both. We see, oh, there goes the death candle. Look at this reaction, guys. We start eating through this pressure here. Oh yeah, we're going bearish, kid. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, kid. We jab into this weekly open. Look at the sell pressure that was presented here, right? And that's why you don't chase after price, bro. You let price do what it needs to do. And when you realize that price typically takes about 30 to 60 minutes to generate a real move, you start to develop your patience, right? I understand that it's going to take about 30 to 60 minutes for a real profile to set up here. And we're not even 20 minutes into the session and you see a massive fake out, right? So this is the type of stuff you should expect at the open. And this is why you should sit back and just relax for 20, 30 minutes. All right. with this reaction right here, if we can start closing through these lows down in here, that's going to open the door for a lot lower, where you see price slowly trending lower here. And we have that previous weekly level down here. That could be our draw on the higher time frame. We have this massive imbalance. Price drives into it, makes a low. But the catch for me is, how does price truly react right now? Because this could just be accumulation and end up right back bullish if we can't break. If we can't break these lows here, we could get SMT off that low and then skyrocket right back bullish. All right, but how I see it, I love this profile here. This is a beautiful profile where you get 930 open. You're looking for manipulation. You get that manipulation into bearish territory, and then you get a strong flip. All right. So with this strong flip, I can understand that we are in bearish territory now, whereas before it was more bullish because we closed through here. Now, as soon as we get above it, we slam back underneath in this range. We gave bullish up close candles. So now all I want to know is, this is bearish territory right here. This is bearish territory. How does price respond? We will find out. Excellent. Excellent patience, my friend. This was beautiful. If Monday starts off extremely bearish, where is Monday looking to trade? Yeah, Monday probably Monday and Tuesday will maybe trade towards this low if we're truly bearish. Daily chart. Yeah. If you ask me, if we're truly going lower here, this is your draw. 24,242. If we're faking out right here, you'll start to see it. You'll start to see price offer. Let's hide this right here so you can see. So you see bearish gap. We drive into it once, fail to go lower, drive into it twice now. If we fail to go lower again, then I'm going to think that we're going to try to bounce again. But if we can start closing underneath, it's tough because this wick right here is still fair play. Price can close inside of this wick and still be bullish. So like I mentioned, right, it's a little bit tricky this morning. So you just allow a little bit more time for price to shake out the impatient traders. Because there was really nothing for me to play here, thankfully. Thankfully, I didn't get any fake or false signals. The only thing I could see here is this accumulation, right? This level right here is holding, and the shorts are still in control. Crypto's still dying. I'm telling you guys, if you're in the crypto, do not buy it this year. Don't listen to the hype. Don't say buy the dip in 2026. Sell the dip in 2026. Keep selling. Don't buy it until 2026 is over. Then think about buying it. Yeah, we're chilling, guys. There we go. We're going to get a nice closure, looks like. I'm going to give this 4 minutes, and then I'm going to, I'll be back to reevaluate. But it's not really that bearish just yet. I understand that these lows could be manipulated, and then we could go right back higher. Similar to what we saw here, right? We saw price sweep this low, fly 100, 200 points. And then now we push into here and we drop 200, 300 points. Nothing stopping price from sweeping this low and going right back to new highs. You just have to think outside the box when you're looking at these candlesticks. Everyone's going to think, oh, short. But look at the clock. It's only 10 o'clock. Price could easily put in a bottom here, and this could be your bottom for the session. And by 12 o'clock, price is way back up here again. right? But the one thing I do like is the previous weekly open. Actually, no, that's this week's open. So this week opened higher, right? You guys have to be able to read these levels with the power of three approach, right? Look at this weekly open from Sunday. We trade higher into bearish territory, fail to make a new high, and completely break lower, right? And now we're retesting the previous weekly low, and we've put a little bit of support here. So that's where it's like, do you get open high, leave this liquidity, right? And then trade down to re-sweep and revisit the previous weekly low, and then start trending right back up to take out the liquidity that was left up here, right? That's honestly, I think that's the most likely and most probable, because we were so bearish last week and the week before. Let's check the weekly actually. How many bearish weeks have we had? Yeah, so we had 3 semi-bearish weeks. So, you got to start opening the door for those bullish profiles. I love we didn't even retest this weekly open here once we broke it, So we'll see. I want to say I'm bullish based on how price has been trading. But at the same time, you guys know I am more bearish long term. So if the shorts are demanding a trade idea, I'll definitely short it. And here we are, 2 minutes left in this candle. Let's see what the chat is up to. Anybody take those shorts? All right, yeah, so here we go. Now you start to see that pressure. You're like, okay, we see a beautiful drive and we maintain this level. That is what you call a beautiful bearish move. And then on top of that, you see the fake out higher, right? You see, not only did this wick up in here, look at what time the wick was printed, 9:30. So that's a good sign for lower, all right? That's a really good sign for lower. The tough part is there is some swing points in here. Let me add these lows in here as liquidity, because a lot of people are going to see this weekly low and they're going to say, oh, we're going to take this out. There's no guarantee price will take this out. There's a bunch of bullish profiles right here, right? If we zoom over here, what do you see? You're going to see a down close candle, mark the bottom. Like we talk about every day, reversals start with the opposing candle. So if I'm looking for a bullish reversal, I should be looking for the opposing candle to start it. Here goes your opposing candle, down close candle. We flip it and bingo. Price is going to use this. Look at how much strength was in that. We barely tap it and we fly away like 1 billion points, right? So if price can get back into this zone here, you may see a similar reaction. So I'm just going to drag this over. This is going to be my draw. And the same thing here. We have another one sitting right on top of it. Another extremely sensitive bullish area of interest. We have this down close candle barely get wicked as well. So really what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this one massive zone here so I don't have all these stupid zones all over. Make it gray, because this is potentially, look at that, we're tapping into it now. And we might be able to get a beautiful flip back higher, right? You gotta take what happens at 9:30 with a large grain of salt, because it's trying to throw you off. 9:30 is trying to throw you off, kid. So looking over here, down close candle, which one was it? It was this one here. This down close candle on the 30-minute chart gave you a nuclear reaction. And look at where we're tapping into. The same level. Once again. Is it going to hold up? We'll find out. on today's episode of the NASDAQ. Here's another one right here. So keep in mind, like I said, a lot of people are going to see that move and think shorts are the play. I understand that it's way too early for me to consider this a legitimate short play. So I have the door open for the opposite idea, right? And what is that going to look like? We're going to zoom in here. We're going to see price make a strong effort to get right back above this support, right back in the range here. If price can do that with a nice bullish closure, then I'm going to be looking to play that. And as far as the shorts go, I have a bearish area all the way up here that I like shorts at, but I won't be shorting down here, right? So everything is clean. It's a very clean workspace here. We take out that overnight high. Look at this accumulation, right? Accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. And then, like I mentioned, 930 didn't sweep the lows of the accumulation. Instead, 930 sweeps the highs of the accumulation, breaks lower. So technically, this is very, very bearish. But because we just we took out all the sell side. Imagine if we give you this bearish wick and then we chop in here first before taking out these lows. I'm all the way hip for that short. I will be looking on the lower time frame in here for reasons to short it down into this area. But once this level gets hit, once we take out pre-market low, once we tap into previous bullish structure, you have to have a more flat bias because price can literally trade right back to these highs. I really hope it does so you guys can see what I'm talking about. The basic play is going to be what people would call a Judas swing higher, accumulate, manipulate higher, and distribute lower, right? But what I'm understanding is Mondays are typically bullish, especially in a bearish market. Mondays like to go opposite, right? You see the new weekly open, we push higher, leave these internal highs. We break structure once, pull back, break structure twice, pull back, break structure 3 times. So this is extremely bearish, right? The only thing that makes me nervous about the short, only thing that gets to me about this short is what time this is happening. So now I'm thinking this could be a setup for a play to get rid of those sellers, a trap for the sellers. And we'll know once price trades back into this red shaded area here, you'll know exactly what price is putting together. You will know. Either it's going to reject in here and then you start looking for short, the most easy short you could ask for, or it's going to literally get into here and start building bullish structure instead of bearish structure. And then you'll start looking for buys to target those sellers and then look for that next overnight high, which would be this Asia high here. But so far, like if you had to pick a side, I would say short. Like if I had to right now, I would pick short. But I understand that these shorts literally just took out a lot of objectives. We took out a lot of generated liquidity. So if price wanted to use this low to catapult higher, we will see just that. And then as I mentioned, I still don't know which one's stronger. We had a very identical move here, but it looks like ES may be slightly stronger. All right, let's see. Yeah, ES is stronger today. How do I come to that conclusion? I like to watch the first 15 minutes of the market open. So this 930 candle, notice how deep we were able to drive on NQ. Notice this 930 candle did not bother to take out any lows. And then now, I would say ES is slightly stronger. So if I'm buying, I'll probably be looking to buy ES. If I'm selling, look to sell NAS. Just depends on the setup, right? But But that's a decent breakdown, I would say. I would say there's not much else going on here. I can zoom in on Nas because these charts pretty much look identical right now. So I like NASDAQ. I'm gonna get rid of some of these levels here for now. Bingo. Really nice, really clean setup. And yeah, now the waiting game begins. 10 o'clock is here. If you guys know what power of 3 is, that means that this 10 a.m. candle could literally have a completely different bias than this previous 4-hour candle. All right, so we have this 4-hour candle. We wick up and we close down in here. Beautiful closure, right? Beautiful bearish candle here. And now we're pushing back into this bearish range. This 10 a.m. candle can push into it and trade lower, or this 10 a.m. candle can sweep this previous 4-hour low and trade higher, right? Similar to this right here, right? You see this beautiful 4-hour candle close. You got people, oh, I'm so bearish. This is bearish, blah, blah. Once this low is swept, what happens? Price immediately trades back to the highs, offering a simple algorithmic retracement, right? It's not saying that price is bullish. It's just saying that we're not going lower, right? For this 4-hour candle, we're going to go higher for 4 hours, even though we're still extremely bearish, right? So you have to learn the algorithm. You have to learn the signature moves of the algorithm, and that'll give you the best heads up. Like right now, if this wanted to start invalidating this bearish structure, I would be happy to buy it back up to this high, or maybe even back up to this high, right? But if we maintain structure inside of this candle here, then it's going to be an easy short. We have higher time frame targets down below to work off of, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, we're chilling, man. $30-minute candle not really showing much strength here, guys. Did ES tap into anything bearish? Nah. Yeah, we're chilling, man. Don't let it lull you to sleep here. Give price a chance to show its real hand. We're either gonna pull back into here, offer a clean market structure shift and go lower, or we're gonna push or maybe accumulate here, right? Accumulate down here, generate some early traders, sweep, and then market structure here. And that'll be my cue to like, all right, price at least wants to trade back into this range. And I can look for a buy back to like the previous session high, or a buy back up to take out those highs. Because we did get a strong 10-minute closure through this. 15-minute did not, but I usually like the 10-minute for breaks and structure. We got a nice closure through it. And then notice we take this low and then immediately stop going lower. And now we're seeing we have this 10-minute bearish gap. Right, so you'll probably see price at least fill in this gap here and then give you that attempt to go lower. And that'll be where we get more clues as to whether price is truly wanting to go lower, or is it accumulating to go higher. Looking at crypto, let's break down crypto this morning. Let's see if crypto gave a decent setup. Let's see here. So looking at Crypto, what would you say was your bias going into today? 7th. Yeah, this looks weak. We're underneath midnight. We don't have any real support. This was your only support here, this previous 30-minute order block. Price tried to hold it. And then 9:30, which is when I like to do my analysis, 9:30 slams through it. So this is where I would get my bias. My bias would be right now bearish. But because of how wide this range is, I don't really like those types of setups for shorts. Those aren't really short protocol for me. More times than not, this will be one of those types of trades where you see this. Because of what time it happened, right? You'll see this. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about. You'll get this beautiful bearish move, but it takes out so much liquidity that it's like, bro, why would I even want to short that now? And then you start to notice price is just slowly eating away at this bearish zone here. And it just slowly trends higher. And everybody who was trying to short in here just gets clapped. That type of setup is more likely when you see stuff like this, right? When you see breaks in structure, like for example, let's go find a good example. See, look, here's a perfect example. Just this exact thing I was talking about. You get this beautiful sell signal, and then what happens? Because it pretty much takes out all the objectives, this is all you get all day. Anybody trying to short in here is an idiot, right? You look at it, you're like, why was I shorting that? All right, same type of deal. I'm already hip. I already know this is more likely than a continuation with this type of move. But then when you see something like this, right? When you see something where you get a break of structure, but you actually leave liquidity, you leave these lows, and then you pull back and you start breaking structure again in the same place, what do you know? Price ends up way down here, right? You probably get SMT off that low or something. But that's the setup you want to see for a short. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, we're chilling, man. I don't anticipate this to go lower all day. But that's not to say that it's, not possible. We've seen it, but more times than not, you should expect the market to try to steal money here. So what we'll do is head back over here, get on that 10-minute chart is fine. But I have my 30-minute indicator right here on the side. So you see this 30-minute candle here. And I would love to see price respond here. I would love to see price give a bullish profile. Like these highs still relative equal highs here. We've already shown a lot of bullish pressure here once, twice. And then if you go to your left, you'll see that this gray area is a landmine full of buyers. Right? So it's just like let price set up here. Price may even try to accumulate right here, accumulate and then sweep a little bit lower. And then next thing you know, you get that flip higher and you're looking to trade that move up. Other than that, like I really don't see much else on the table for the shorts. I love how fast the short was, but I think it was a bit too fast without retesting anything in here. Look at the 1-minute chart. You got one retest here on this 1-minute order block, and that's it. That's your entire move. This order block never retested. Once we close through it, it just flies from top to bottom. I think we're gonna catch a clean buy here. And because of what we talked about last week, I do want to lower my risk on buys, but not at the beginning of the week here, right? Mondays and Tuesdays, if you're counter trend trading, you have a really good win rate, a really good risk to reward, because typically the week will start off with a power of 3 profile. Monday, if let's say the week ended up bearish like we saw, The week ends up bearish, but what happens on Monday and Tuesday? Let's go look. All right, here we go. Look at how this week ended. This is Friday, way down here, super bearish weekly candle. Look at how Monday plays out. Monday, bullish. Tuesday, bullish. For 2 days straight, price showed no sign of weakness. That's when you want to be buying. Later in the week, don't be so quick to buy. And look, what do you know? Another bearish week. What happens on Monday? No sign of weakness at all on Monday. Okay, so with that being said, I understand that I'm bearish for this entire 2026. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's only February, and I think we're just now seeing that selling pressure. I think we're going to see selling pressure for the entire 2026, if you ask me. You know, give or take a few months that are bullish, but at the end of the year, you're going to see, let's go to the yearly actually. End of the year, I'm anticipating a very, you see this bearish candle here? I'm expecting this candle to look just like this at the end of the year. All right. So with that in mind, I am happy to like look for buys at the beginning of the week and then play my cards on the shorts to end the week. All right. And here we go again. What do you notice? We're breaking structure to the upside before we continue lower. So 5-minute chart. Here we go. Let's go, man. Let's go, man. This should be an easy bottom here. Easy bottom. But it all, like I said, it all depends. I'm not going to overlook this zone, and that's why I have this highlighted. If we reject in here, this is going to be a beautiful short. And maybe, today we get like a range. We don't get much of a bullish profile today. We'll find out, right? But so far, this looks bullish with a bearish roadblock. We clear this roadblock. There's nothing stopping price from taking out this high. There we go. Let's go, man. I don't want to see this move too fast, man. We see what happens when price moves too fast. It hits a wall, right? We saw this 930 move. What did I say about it? I said I felt like this was moving too fast, so I'm going to wait. What happens? Hits a brick wall, slams. Same thing for the shorts. I said I like the short, but it's moving too fast. And what do you know? It hits a brick wall, comes to an abrupt stop. I need these buyers to pull back before doing anything significant. There we go. All right, cool. All right, so here we go. What do you guys notice? All right, we are driving back into this zone. We are driving into this 10-minute fair value gap. You are expecting to see sellers here. Okay, so this is already setting up really nicely, right? I'm playing the algorithm. If we're pushing into bearish territory, I want to see rejection. Every move should start with some sort of rejection. All right, so with this rejection, I get to see where the sellers are. So once price starts slapping these sellers in the face and closing through these swing points and respecting bullish areas of interest, it's going to be a very clear move that price wants higher instead of lower. All right, so this is the seller's first attempt at sending price lower here. So let's see if they hold up, because the first thing I notice is we're inside of my bearish area, but we have not shown any market structure shift. This is simply a rejection. How do I know? There's no swing point being taken out by this move lower, which is also kind of leading me towards a bullish idea. I mark out this low here because if you remember this morning, we had this 30-minute bullish candle, which I have highlighted. Structure was clean. We pulled back into this down close candle right here, remember, and we got on top of it and we were able to use this shelf right here to climb. If price starts flipping right back above this will turn into a Quasimodo, or AKA head and shoulders, where you get this left shoulder, you get the head down here, and then if price gets above it and starts respecting this level again, then you're anticipating that type of reversal right there. All right, so that's why I have this. I'll drag that across, see what that looks like over time, and then understand that if price is truly bearish, we won't even see that. Price will probably stay underneath here. We got this 30-minute candle closed. Let's put this body here. So this opening price right here is important as well for me visually. If we're underneath here giving bearish structure, and that's just a bearish type of move. Basically, this shows you that you're still inside of bearish territory. I need a market structure shift. But so far, like I mentioned, there's no market structure shift. We would have to take out this low here. So this will be your first market structure shift. We end up pushing through this low immediately. This is going to be a very bearish session here, guys. And it could go way, way, way further. Like, where's that level at? It won't show me it, huh? Let's go highlight it for myself then. This previous weekly low becomes very, very appropriate if we get an aggressive move lower here. Potential draw. Yeah, potential draw would be here. Let's see. But price has a tendency of faking out traders here. We could literally stop. And where would we stop at, right? So let's start investigating. What is holding price up here? How would price find any support? Where did this bullish move come from? And you're going to find a down close candle at the heart of it every single time. Here goes your down close candle. So at this point, I can really just erase this entire green zone and put it right here. If this holds up, then there's no reason for me to be bearish. Right? So let's say we tap into here and break this high. That right there is going to tell me, all right, we drove into bearish territory. Price was sent back into this original support and it was not able to break it. So I would assume that this is going to hold and we're going to keep trending higher until we at least hit something of significance in here. All right, the one thing that gets my attention is this up close candle before this sell-off. We haven't revisited this area yet. So price could easily tap into here and free fall. So far, I'm loving the reaction here. let's see what you can even make it down to this one right here. This down close candle was the one that got swept, and price sweeps this low, pushes higher, taps into it, break structure. Like this, looking at it like this, I would even buy this on the 1 minute. It's not my strategy, so that's why I'm not gonna do it. But see what I'm saying, right? Like we give a beautiful foundation after sweeping this low. We immediately put structure. We tap into a higher time frame bullish area. We put this down close candle, we sweep it, and we explode from this range. We pull back into the same exact range and give you another expansion. All right. So now that we've driven into bearish retest areas here, right, now we get to see if this is going to survive the pressure that's going to come from here. We know there's going to be bearish pressure. There's a bearish gap. There's a bearish order block. We drive into it now. If this level survives the selling pressure, it's going to rip through all of this. And it's starting to look like we may be headed that direction. How do I know? I told you guys, these moves typically take 30, 60 minutes, sometimes 90 minutes. What do you notice? Price just spent exactly 30 minutes building a platform to go higher. So the next 30 minutes could offer exactly what we're looking for. And then you'll be forced to take the buy based on what I know. You're looking at a 60-minute reversal here. You're looking at a power of 3 unfolding right before your eyes. So now we get everything we need to see here. This is perfect, guys. This is perfect. I don't see any market structure shifts lower after revisiting this red zone up above, bearish area. We have not shown any market structure shift yet. Cool. So now when I look at how did this 10 a.m. to 10:30 candle close, it closes bullish, correct? Yep, we get a bullish candle close. How does the structure look inside of that candle? We have a beautiful down close, and I would say this one right here. Yep, this is going to be my target area here. I'll mark this off as yellow. So my yellow zones are going to be 1 minute areas, and then my green and red zones are going to be 5 minute areas of interest. Let's check on ES here. All right, yeah, ES identical. And what do you notice about this new 30-minute candle? It immediately trades lower, which is what you want in a bullish algorithm. You want the power of 3 to be showing everywhere, guys. Anytime there's a new candle open, you're thinking power of 3. Anytime you're looking at the weekly chart, you're thinking power of 3. Power of 3 is the heartbeat of the algorithm, because that's how they keep you they keep your psychology on edge. Because naturally, as a human being, when you see something going up, you want to buy it, and naturally when you see something going down, you want to sell it. That's just natural, right? But as a trader, you start to understand that they're using that psychology against you. When price is going down, you should be looking for it to go the opposite way, depending on what time it is, right? And that's where that guy ICT changed the game. He basically confirms how important time is when you're looking at structure, right? And time will literally give you a better feel of what to expect. Like here, I'm like, I should sit back. I'm expecting some sharp manipulation. And what happens? Sure enough, because of what time it was, 9:30, there was sharp manipulation. Here, it's 10 o'clock. I'm looking for a continuation profile. The one thing that gets my attention is we've already shown. Are we going to take this low? Hold on. If we break structure here, that would be clean. So like, what are you guys noticing, right? We have two setups going at it right now. You have this bullish 30-minute closure that looks very weak right now. We get this market structure shift on ES. ES was stronger, right? How do I know this is a market structure shift? This low makes a high into this bearish area and completely fails. Oh yeah. Now you're starting to see this 10 a.m. continuation type of profile. And that's all you had to wait for. Because now with this move lower, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, kid. Now we have a clean area of interest. Where am I looking to short? I'm looking to short at the most recent attempt to go higher. There goes my short profile here. I can move that to the side. Yeah. Very clean. Very clean. Looks like ES is leading the way lower. This is crazy. It's almost like I'm forced to trade ES. ES is very, very, very clean here. And because remember we said ES is stronger. So if the stronger of the two are still showing weakness, then that right there is a very good sign that price could trade much, much lower. Okay, so I like it. I like it. Everything that we were anticipating is starting to unfold, right? Either you were going to see the buyers use this platform here, maintain it, and start going higher, or you were going to see price push into this red zone here, which is exactly what happens, and break structure. All right, now with this break of structure, if we can get a valid retest, meaning price pushes into this area and completely rejects it, it'll be obvious rejection, right? That is where I will get involved for lower, and I could target 1.5R, whatever. And then look to my left, make sure that these levels over here are marked out because these can become a problem as well. It may not make it to that low as we talked about earlier, so you got to be prepared for a potential flip. So this low right here, I think we took out this low. Let me do this. And then for this one, I'll do this. Cool. So I think we are pushing into this range once again, but we've already seen price offer. There we go. Yeah. Let's see what happens here. I might have to short this. Let me zoom in. I think I'm going to trade ES, guys. I think I like ES here, and I'm looking at all of this right here. So let me get ready for this potential short on the way. How many contracts are we thinking here? Let's say we get in somewhere around here. Let me go 30-minute chart. Let's mark off this closing price, open price, I should say. Open price, make it red. Make it black. So this level here and then this level here, right? All you're doing is outlining that 30-minute workspace. Once price starts getting comfortable outside of that workspace or rejecting the top of that workspace, which you can see clear as day here, where is my order block? It's literally sitting right at the top of that 30-minute profile there, 30-minute candle range, I should say. And if I can get a short anywhere around 6797, I could put my stop up above here, 14 points, maybe a little bit. Yeah, like 15 points there. But I really want to be safe. So if I got to go 14, I want to go 16. So the high is at 14 points, add 2 points for protection. And then now you need to see price literally show you weakness here. If price gives you that weakness, then I could short this for, let me pull up my indicator. Like I said, there's no real rejection in this area besides this next blue line here. Let's see here. Yeah, there goes some beautiful rejection right there. Let's see how this candle closes. I may short this. Oh, nice close. Nice close here. All right. 1.5 would be here. Come on, don't take off that quickly, kid. Oh my goodness. Let's see if we get a fair entry. Oh my goodness. That closure was pretty much very fast. All right, come on. I'm watching this level right here. Notice where we're rejecting, right? Notice these black lines are literally controlling price. Price tries to get above it, fails. And I'm looking for 2067.97 here. 16 points on the stop would be 6 micros. So I'm gonna go 12. Bro, I really hate that it's baiting me to short way down here when I could probably get a fill up here somewhere. But I don't think it's gonna give it to me, bro. NASDAQ hasn't hit this level yet. That's kind of what's holding me back here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna chill. I want a better fill. I'm okay with if I can't catch it, so what? But I do want a better fill because this order block in here is so clean. Right? So clean. And NASDAQ hasn't even tapped into it yet. You got this short-term high here that was left. Maybe price sweeps this and then goes into it. But if not, I'm okay. I'm okay with that, bro. I think the fill price is more important here. Yes, does tap into it, which is kind of making me like, I want to take it. I really do. But if I can get a better fill, it'll be much cleaner. So what I would want to see is, let me get up in this area. Let me get a short up in this area around 68.01. And now I can go in with like a 12-point stop, 12.5-point stop, which would be 16 contracts there. And there goes that drive. Let's go. Come on. I think I just want to short this yet. Oh, no, you know what? I'm not gonna do it because I want to see NASDAQ tap into it, bro. I think that's why we're doing this. I think that's why price is showing this bounce right now. So NASDAQ can officially revisit this order block. And then I'll let NASDAQ give us confirmation to short here. I hope I'm not missing this because this is where I would want to get in, bro. But you got to be smart here, bro. We're in very bullish territory. We got a nice sell signal here, but you need to see price. Oh, bro. Maybe I'm rusty. I'm a little bit, not rusty. I'm a little bit gun shy here because it's a Monday. Coming off the weekend, but I just have to see it. Yeah, I can respect that. I have to see it. That was a good feel. But I have to see it play out before I start pulling the trigger on these more aggressive entries. You know what I mean? Like, all I'm looking for is NASDAQ to revisit. Maybe it taps this wick and that's okay, but I feel like this area is way too clean to ignore. So we'll see if I'm right or wrong. But the bias is very clear here. You can't argue with these shorts. Just have to get a clean entry price. And like I mentioned, I know these trades typically take a while. So if we're looking at this short, it started at 9:30 to 10. That's 30 minutes. And then here, 10 to 10:30. That's 60 minutes. So now you're starting to get in that 90-minute window where this candle right here should offer a beautiful continuation. And the reason I don't want to jump the gun, but I guess we did open in here. This is tough, bro, because this 30-minute candle that we're currently trading inside of from 10:30 to 11, right? It hasn't revisited this area yet for NAS. If I go look at my notebook would tell me this is where you want to play your short. Anything else, you're FOMOing into the trade. So I'm going to stick to the notes here. Because I could have easily been in this short. It just wouldn't feel right. So I'm thinking of like a 12-point stop. ES looks fine. But if NASDAQ ends up trading into here, I'm going to trade NASDAQ because it's showing me that NAS is controlling whether price goes lower or not. You know what I mean? Because if ES was controlling it, ES has already shown you. We tapped into this zone. We got a nice turn, nice engulfing candle. This area right here becomes a short. But if we cannot short from here, that's telling me that ES is not in control. NASDAQ is in control. So I should be looking to short NAS once NAS gives you that retest up here. And you might get like a SMT. NASDAQ pushes up in here. ES doesn't. Boom, boom, boom. Come on, kid. You can do it. There we go. Let's go mark off these 30-minute levels for NAS as well. And there we have it. There goes your pressure higher. And it's about to tap into this zone for the first time. Let's go. Now, do we rip through here and just laugh at all the people who are shorting? Sweep out these lows. Like, notice how strong price is off of this low. We barely sweep it, and look, it refuses to go any lower. Right? So that's where you have to keep your eyes on both sides of the ball every time. Both sides of the peel. Both sides of your transcript here. You know what I mean? So I'm watching NAS. A good short would be, like I say, anything under this black line, 24,526. That's fine. And then you could cover this yellow box here if the highs are sitting at 65. Give me 75, 80, 77 maybe. 70-point stops. 8 micros would be 1,000. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. And you see how you save yourself the drawdown? Because even though it looks extremely bearish here, you know that you want to see this level hold. This is your short territory. If this level does not hold, you should not be in a short. If this level is not retested, you should not be in a short. We got some 1-minute gaps in here. Let's see, 2-minute maybe. We got 2-minute bearish, 3-minute. Showing that rejection here. Let me type this up. I'm going to get ready here. 8 micros. And I'm looking for 1.5. All right, yeah. Entry 24,499. I feel like this is not going to be this easy. It's probably going to just keep going higher and higher. Just to spice things up. And you would see this is your market structure shift for higher. Right? You see this SMT off the low. You see price break this high. Potential market structure shift here. So I'm going to mark that off as well. All right. And you see price just cruising through this zone right now. Let's see, like, we're going to see if this ends up being bullish, what happens. Then that first original idea where we were talking about how this was a beautiful setup is still valid. All we did was sweep the low. And now price starting to correct back bullish, shake out all those sellers. Oh my goodness. And then now you're looking at it from a bullish point of view. You just need to see price offer. Yeah, look at it. Oh my goodness. You know how many people are getting stopped out right now that are selling? Oh my goodness. One thing I will not do is underestimate how shady the markets are. This is dirty, kid. Look at it. And it's not giving you any chance. to get out of your short here is stopping you out. Massive candle. All right. So now we're starting to break through this bearish area of interest. I'm starting to think, yeah, we're probably going to go higher. And then remember this black line up above, that's going to become a factor here. And I'm just looking at the fact that we just broke structure. And this was a beautiful sell signal. So the fact that we're taking it out right now is telling me we are probably going to fly. The buyers are aggressive here. All right, so this was your last zone here. Zone here. All right, we're closing through that. We get this market structure shift here. And looks like we're going to be bullish today, guys. And we see what happens. We have this low right here, market structure shift. So I'm looking for bearish areas to send price back down into here. So this would be my entry opportunity. Or we might see a reset of the clock. What do I mean by that? This candle right here closes bullish. Actually, hold on. Let me see. Yeah, we push into here. Yeah, we're probably going to get like a 5-minute continuation candle right here. So remember I said it here. I'm going to mark it off. This could be your continuation candle higher, meaning price is going to use this 5-minute structure to pull back into and then continue. So with that being said, what is inside of that 5-minute candle on the 1-minute chart? Here's your zone. This is your last attempt to go lower. I like that. If price pulls back into it, holds this level, I will try to buy. And same thing over here. There goes your pullback. Let's see if we tap into it. We should at this point. We should at this point. Look at ES, bro. ES is doing everything. Here we go. ES tapping into the zone. NASDAQ not. That's tough, kid. This is going to make it tough on me, guys. I'm going to stop watching ES if it keeps doing that, because it'll make you get in early and then ruin your, entry price. Matter of fact, yeah, let me do that. I'm going to watch NAS. I want a clean setup on NASDAQ because we've seen ES give you the retest and all that good stuff and then not go anywhere. So it looks like NASDAQ is truly in control this morning. So I want to see NASDAQ give a clean delivery, and then we should be safer with those entries. All right, so I'm just looking at this zone here for potential continuation. It's tough because this zone right here is still, it's not that far out of play. That's tough. That's tough. So what I'll use it, bro, this is tough. How do you pick a side here, right? Because you could be very, very technical. You could say, oh, we took out this high right here, so I know for a fact that this level is done. But how many times have you seen stuff like this where this bullish level gets taken out, we close underneath it, all that good stuff, and it still ends up bullish? So you could, yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this 5-minute candle, the 5-minute candle is going to do the talking for us. We get a fair value gap here. I'm going to look for long. But we'll see, man. This is like, remember this level here? Let's make this a little bit thicker. If we can't get back above here, that's going to be a good sign for lower. Yes, still underneath that shelf. I would love to see lower, just understanding that this was a very A+ setup. But now that we're pushing deeper into here, it's like, oh man. If we break structure again, I have to consider shorts only going forward. At this point, you want to see every bullish profile hold up. If anything starts to fall apart, I have to short because we're still in bearish territory. This level did break structure. We have this internal order block here, and then you have the upmost order block sitting right here. right? Which could also send price lower. The A plus continuation is from here. That shows speed, right? And then the A plus plus can be up at this level if this level can create another break of structure. It's just tough when you see price literally giving you both sides of the equation. We have a bullish closure. Let's look at the 30-minute. A bullish closure at 10:30. And then now we're about to get another bullish closure. That right there is telling me, yo, the buyers are stepping in here. What do these candles look like? We have beautiful structure inside of them, right? We have a nice bullish move here. Okay. Closing through here. We push into it. Now we're getting another bearish order block flip. Bearish down close candle flip. We get above it. And then this gap right here is, yeah, this gets my attention, bro. If we reject this 5-minute gap, I am going long. If we flip that 5-minute gap, I'm ready for shorts. So yeah, what I want to see is, I want to see this hold up. If you're bullish, you need to convince me by doing this right here. I want to see you tap into here and show immediate rejection. And then I'll believe that you're bullish, and I'll buy that regardless. Okay. And let's go to that 5-minute candle. So yeah, I'm just marking out levels here to set the tone. Anything above here after tapping into that gap, I'm buying it. And that's going to be 24,570. But if we start flipping and rejecting that level, I am not buying it. I'm going to short it off of this, pull back into here, because we're still relatively bearish and we're just looking for price to turn, right? Remember when I said we break this low? I want to see price push into this yellow zone and start turning lower. That never happens. As you can see, still hasn't happened. We're not truly closing strongly through these candles here. But let's say we get a massive slam here and we close through this yellow box here. That's going to tell me short it. You're better off with the shorts. Here, this looks extremely bullish. And I'm patiently waiting for this to be filled in. That's all I'm waiting for. That's all I'm waiting for. Because what's more important than your bias? Your entry price. My bias is usually spot on, but my entry price can use some work more times than not. But lately, my entry price has been phenomenal. And this is why, because I'm waiting for specific areas only. And if it goes without me, oh well. See you later. We'll catch you next time. All right, so this is it. Moment of truth. You do not want to see price breaking and closing through these levels in here. If you're bullish. If you're bearish, you definitely want to see that. That'll be the perfect confirmation. All right, so let's mark off 11 a.m. And it looks like if you had to pick a side, right? Based on the clock, we have 30 minutes here, 60 minutes, and you're seeing that speed. I would pick the buys because the shorts, remember the shorts with 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes going by, and we still haven't shorted. That's 90 minutes right there, and we're still holding this bullish profile. Starts to make me think this is not going to work out here. All right. So if I'm looking and I say, all right, cool, I need to see a market structure shift. I just need to see price pull back into here, which we did on ES, and we broke structure. Same thing here. I remember we pulled back into that wick. Well, technically, I guess not. If you count this candle only. Once we broke structure, yeah, we never pulled into it. Yeah, I like this, guys. I like this a lot. And I would have to buy Nasdaq. Nasdaq just looks a little bit cleaner here. Um, 73 points. Probably about an 80-point stop is what I'm looking at if I get the right fill. 70 to 80 points. So that'll be 3 or 4 micros times 2 for $1,000. And remember, half risk buys later in the week, early in the week buys are okay. This looks phenomenal. Look at what we're climbing on top of. We're climbing on top of this previous session. Look at what we're climbing on top of. We're flipping this shelf, the same shelf that we had before. All right. So what I'm thinking is this next 30-minute candle will be my delivery candle. Right. So I'm looking for that next 30-minute candle to dip into here and give me my entry. And then I'll be looking, I would say this previous session level is a good entry price. And then I'll put my stop wherever that dip is. All right, so this is what I'm looking for. I want to see, once 11 o'clock hits, I want to see power of 3 take over, and I want to see the candle open lower first, drive into here, show any kind of rejection, and I'm going to buy it on the flip, and I'm putting my stop a few points below whatever low was created in here, as long as this level holds, right? So 80 points, could be as low as 70. We'll see. And then I have to be ready for price to take off without me, because there is a chance that price literally just stays above this previous session and just runs away. There's a chance that happens. And I have to be okay with that so that I don't FOMO into this, because it's like, it's so obvious that I'm like, it's gonna kill me if it just takes off, but I gotta let it kill me. All right, cool. So as you can see, price decided instead of filling in this gap like I wanted it to, it used this 5 minute body price, which is where I was going to enter. Right. I put this here. I said at 24,569. If we can drive into here, I'm looking for buys above here. Right. That's all it is. A continuation type of move. You see price fails to revisit this gap, but we maintain this. And like I mentioned, right, this is what I was talking about. I love that you guys get to see firsthand what I'm talking about. And I'm not just looking at this myself, right? But what happened, we climbed back above this shelf here. And if we can get that pullback, which we should, price is starting to overextend. So this is telling me we're about to short probably when we get up into these extremes here, the same way we shorted before. Chances are it's going to dump right back down into here. And then you could get that continuation from there. All right, so that's what I'm looking at. First thing I'm noticing, what happened here. ES had never retested any of this bearish red zone. We almost hit it, failed to hit it. Now we're driving into it. So that means we're going to see some rejection. All right, with that rejection, I'm still anticipating some sort of sell-off. So I could try to play that short if it's a clean short. If the shorts take off without me, like every single move so far has been taking off without me. I wanted to buy, takes off without giving you a retest. I wanted the short, it gives you a very lethargic and terrible retest. So now there's nothing for me to short. The buy, I wanted a pullback. I was almost anticipating these were gonna fail based on this break of structure here. Price never pulls back into this yellow zone, right? So everything has been taken off without me, but eventually price is gonna walk right into my, setup, and then I'll take that. For now, this is just gonna be looking for a market structure shift because we never gave this gap fill and we're overextending. So price is likely gonna be bearish one more time at least. If price does rip through these highs, then that's probably going to be it for me. I'm going to wrap it up at 12:30 here today. I think it said it on the stream. Yeah. So going forward, streams will be from 9:30 to 12:30 max. And if I'm let's say I'm in a trade or something. If I'm in a trade or something while 12:30 approaches, then I'll just post the trade results in the chat room so you guys can see how the trade ended up playing out once the stream's over. But so far, excellent analysis, excellent profile on price, and the cherry on top is going to be, can we see a short here? Or is price just literally gonna rip through all of this? Chances are it's gonna rip and just obliterate all of it. And that's why it's tough, man. It's tough. I wanted these buys down in here. I saw price showing that signature where it was gonna probably just keep going here. But when we printed this area here, I'm like, bro, ES was able to tap it. Oh, that's tough. Yes, gave it to you. And if I'm being hyper technical here, you can see this was your order block here on ES. We never hit that either. We hit that second up close candle, which isn't even showing on NAS. So that's tough. Yeah. So I was thinking that ES had mitigated this short idea, but ES hadn't even tapped into that key candle here, which is my fault, I guess, for watching that second candle. I should have been watching this one. And then you see, boom, pullback, flip. This is, oh my goodness. Price doesn't give you a short. We end up closing through here, pulling back into this perfectly, closing above, respecting this down close candle. Buy. and you're in phenomenal position for longs. And this is where I have to do better, because sometimes it's okay to FOMO. It's crazy to say that, but sometimes it is okay to FOMO. The only reason I didn't want to FOMO here though is because my stop would have been gigantic. So I'm still happy that I didn't get in. I would have had to cover this low. Yeah, no, I'm okay that I didn't get in, but realistically, we saw two things happen. We saw a sweep here, a sweep here, a push here, and another sweep fake out here. So price spent a lot of time sweeping out traders, and now it's ready for whatever it wants to do. And you can see it's in a hurry to get it done now because it wasted hours doing nothing. Let's go, man. I'm actually just happy with the read on price. I don't need a trade to show for it. I would like a trade to show for it, but we still have an hour and a half left. Let's see if price gives a clean maneuver. Let's see. Drop a like. Drop a like on the stream if your account is safe so far. If you ended up getting caught and chopped in this, jump in the chat. Tell us what you did wrong. I am chilling here. I'm actually like, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the buys here because just look at how shady price is, right? Look at what price was able to do. Right? Look at this. Massive move lower to get people to think that we're bearish, right? We retrace, I want to say what, 50%? Yep, retrace 50%, break structure. So if you weren't short bias here, you're definitely short bias here. So look at what price does to you, right? It forces you to believe that we're bearish. And then this entire leg is called inducement. And now this leg is looking like inducement. So if that's the case, then you can start drawing up your projections. You could say from Fibonacci level minus 2.5 is up here somewhere. Right. This is likely where price is headed. What's over here? Nothing. A whole bunch of liquidity that was never revisited. All of these highs should be taken out if this structure holds up, right? I'm actually impressed with this, bro. I'm impressed. Price went above and beyond to steal your money today. It's ridiculous. And look at this. Look at this run here. Look at this run with no signs of weakness, right? So that shows you that all of this was a scam. How are you so strong up here, but you were just pretending to be weak here at 24,600? You were just trying to manipulate, right? And so if we're looking at it, right, like I said earlier, this is a sell. This is 30 minutes. The first 30 minutes is setting it up. The second 30 minutes, there should be a continuation. If not the second 30 minutes, you for sure want to be looking for the next 30 minutes to see a continuation. What do you notice? This is 90 minutes of nothing. You got 30 minutes of sell pressure, and then that was it, right? You almost got that continuation here, but price breaks this low and a completely flipped structure here. Flip the script. Where was the first sign of bullishness? Right here, 10 to 10:30. That's only 30-minute window. We already got a setup loading. And literally within 60 minutes, the next 30 minutes, price was gone. I was hoping, bro. I was just hoping that we get that 90-minute continuation where you get 30 minutes, build structure. The next 30 minutes confirms that structure. And then the final 30-minute candle just drives back into something that was left, right? And then continues. That would have been excellent, right? But Instead of that, we get, this is crazy, bro. It has to pull back. So remember we were talking about this left head. Where's the right shoulder, right? Where is that pullback on this side of the curve? Should happen. Could be up here, could be down here, could be up here, right? But you should start seeing price put in a lower high. And that's what I'm looking for before I wrap it up today. That'll be my last piece of the puzzle. Good job predicting every single clean approach, I would say. A lot of these trades, like this short right here, there's no way for you to play this short. And then this buy right here, there's no way for you to play this buy unless you just FOMO into it. Or maybe, you know, if you like inversions, but I'm not an inversion guy, so. Beautiful. Now, I just need to see price offer a break of structure so I can short this, kid. This is way too bullish, way too overextended. We've seen what happens when price overextends into this territory. It crumbles. Overextend, crumble, overextend, overextend again, crumble. I think we're going to have another decent sell-off here. So I want to try to catch it. Crypto, what do you know? Crypto's back in that bearish lane. Bro, look at this. Did we not draw this up? We just said, you see what happens when price likes to sell off too fast and take out liquidity. It's going to end up right back at the top of that gap. 30 minutes later, right back at the top. How does price notice how price flips this zone though, right? Notice how when price gets to the top of this fair value gap, the up close candle that created the fair value gap, right? Price completely obliterates it, saves it for later, right? Price goes, runs, saves it for later. And what happens? Price pulls right back in here. When it's ready to finish the job, takes the highs. So if you had an order sitting in here, you catch that entire move and you're targeting the most recent high, understanding that price could scam you after taking that high. You know, price takes that high and then what happens? Dumps. It's all a scam, bro. It already knows what it's doing. It runs higher, generates all of these liquidity lows here. And before getting where it truly wants to go, it's going to drop to rebalance. That rebalance move is where you want to play. This is where you want to play the game of trading. And then you catch the entire move quicker than all these people. These people were in this trade from Monday, the entire day Monday, just to get stopped out. Yet when you get in, you hit full TP in 10 minutes. You know what I mean? It's a scam, bro. I know a lot of people like to say trading is a scam. I agree. It is a scam. But the cool thing is you know what it is. If you know what it is, you know how to play it. You create rules to take advantage of the scam activity. Because one thing about the markets, it is consistently dirty. So if it's playing dirty, I can learn its characteristics and notice when it's playing dirty and just play the right side. You know what I mean? So if you go into trading thinking it's all fun and games, like, oh, this was a perfect A+ setup, it's just going to go straight to TP. You don't know. You better know what an A+ setup really looks like, because the A+ setups on YouTube are trash. There we go. Making a new high here. This is the start of what could be a bearish signature. You always want to see price make a high or make a low or sweep something or tap into something before you start looking for shorts or for longs, right? Same thing here. Before we made a long, what happened? We took out these lows. What's at the bottom of this long? Down closed candles. This is your signature for higher. Up here, we didn't go lower until we did what? Took out highs. So now that we're taking out a high, I can say if we maintain this high and break lower, this could be the short I'm looking for. If price doesn't break lower, then who cares? Let's look at this 15-minute chart. Let's see what we have underneath us. Got a fair value gap. 50% of this leg looks appropriate to me. So yeah, up underneath this blue line here, we're about to close. Yeah, this level. This blue line would be a decent target for the short. You know, you're not really shorting to the lows. You're just shorting for a rebalance. Okay, so keep that in mind. We'll see if price gives. Let me go back and look at this actually. Yeah, look at all these bullish candles. There's no bearish candle whatsoever. We're about to see some bearish pressure any moment now. Wow, look at ES, kid. ES breaks this high. We have SMT off of this high now. Please give us a short. This will be phenomenal. Do not take that high, NASDAQ, please. Give us a very algorithmic short here. And with that, we'll be able to take advantage of it. All right, notice these 30-minute candles are very, very violent. But typically after a violent 30-minute candle, you'll get that more algorithmic consolidation, low volume candle. All right, you get these massive moves and then you start seeing price absorb volume. Massive move, massive move. So this is a good spot for a short. We just need to see it play out here. This, I honestly think 30, 60, 90. But the catch with this move here, this is so inefficient. This is why the shorts look good. Because when price was supposed to be building efficient protocol down here for the buyers, it runs away, leaving so many imbalances, so many levels that were never revisited. And then we get up here, we sweep the high, SMT, 5-minute candle. We're gonna close a 5-minute order block here. Hopefully this candle closes bearish. We have 2 minutes left. We get a bearish candle close here. That'll be the first sign of exhaustion in about an hour. 10:40 all the way up until now, it's been pure bullish candle closures for both charts. So either this is going to be extremely, extremely bullish and we missed the entry, or it's going to give us a short, but it's starting to look like it's not stopping. Bro, this is like, I'm starting to understand. I'm probably not gonna have many trades. It may start to look like maybe one or maybe two trades per week, especially when you wait for that optimal entry point and you don't just FOMO in here. I would have bought this. I would have been like, kid, this is bullish. The moment we flip this internal order block here, I would have been like, this is bullish. If I'm wrong, I'll just take the short after. That's what I would have told myself before. And it's not a bad way to trade. I could have literally done that. I could have bought it and I could have said, if this level right here, which is the last resort, if this holds up, then I'll just take the short. But the flaw in that is, what about the times where you buy this, you get stopped out, and then when you try to short, it goes without you. So now you just took this loss for no reason because you were anticipating you were going to get in on the short and the shorts leave without you, right? And then there's the other scenario where you lose and then you try to short and the short gets chopped and manipulated and the short loses. So now you take 2 losses instead of 1, which would have been the short. So that's where it's like, I think I can settle on the idea that if it's not an optimal entry, just don't get in. My trading's going to slow down a lot, but I think that's going to be good in the long run. But I like this. I like this accumulation, bro. Let's get us some 5-minute bodies, though. You see how this candle made sure it closed bullish? That's not good. You need to see this 5-minute chart start getting comfortable closing bearish. Here, you're just getting wicks, bullish close. Yeah, I think it's over, guys. I think they got away with one today. I was on their tail. Look at this expansion. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Cannot complain. If this ends up shorting, though, based on the concept that we still have a ton of bearishness in this area, it doesn't matter how bullish we seem in this area, we always seem to just fall lower, right? If we can get that same type of pressure, notice what happened at every last one of these drops. You start seeing bearish 5-minute closures, right? Boom, bearish candles, bearish candles. If you literally short the very first strong 5-minute bearish candle, you catch this whole move. Let's go over here. Let's find where price got some energy. Here's a nice pop here. No real strong bearish closure. First strong bearish candle close on 5-minute. What happens? Dumps, and you catch this entire move. It could all be so simple, right? Look at it. Bearish pressure steps in, right? Shorts. Top is put in. So that's why I'm looking. I'm like, bro, if we can just get some bearish, there we go. Come on. Start closing through these previous candles with a bearish candle. That right there is the first sign that you need to be looking for shorts. You go down to the lower time frame, find a optimal setup, and give it a chance. I think we get one, man. Let's see. Here we go. Market structure shift. Come on, let's go, man. We got this low. All right, let me go ahead and clean up some of this. Wait, where is that weekly open? Turn on my indicators. Look at what we're slamming off of. My goodness, kid. If we slam off this weekly open again, we just saw what happened the first time. And we just broke structure. Oh, yeah, I'm looking for shorts here, kid. We just broke structure clean. All right, let's see. I want shorts off of these up close candles right here if they hold. If they hold, yes, pull you to the side a little bit. Tight stop. Maybe even just put my stop above that previous swing. Yeah. Let's see how price responds here. I need a legitimate drive here. Back to these highs to show that price is not trying to go higher after taking these lows. All right. And about a 60-point stop. 4 micros, 8 micros. Not high there. All right. Come on, kid. Come on, kid. You can do it, kid. Looks like it's going to break this low as well. Beautiful selling pressure. And the reason I don't want to really rush into this because I know this candle is going to probably close bearish like we just talked about. And I should have some room to work inside of this candle. If it just closes here and then just dumps, then, you know, so what? So be it. But I'm looking for at least a pullback into this range here. And then go lower. This is so crazy, kid. Sometimes I think about just putting in limit orders at certain areas. You saw this 30-minute setup. Just go put a limit order at the very top of it. Boom, you catch a massive move. Over here, you see this short setup on the 30-minute? Put a limit order at the top of this one. This one doesn't hit, but ES does. And booyah. But I might save that for my bot. I'm working on a robot, guys, a trading robot. I think that's going to be my new best friend. But first, you got to, pull it off. Because how I trade is kind of tough to teach your AI how to do it. But I think it's possible. Worth the chance, worth the shot, And here we go. So this move right here tells me we're going to end up bullish. All right, you can see how price is running from point A to point B. Anything in between, you're gambling, right? We went from point A all the way to point B. Anything in between here, you're gambling. We go from point B all the way to point C, right? And then now from here, I need to see price give me a clean break and retest, bro. Or it's gonna create the same vibe that we're talking about. It's gonna overextend into bullish territory. Then I'm gonna be forced to wait for a market structure shift that actually pulls back and gives me a chance to enter before taking off. But so far, every single market structure shift has been one and done. This was an exception because we did have a market structure shift and you could have gotten in on this turn, right? But because we're in such bearish territory, you don't want to be buying so quickly at the lows. You want to wait for this to fail, which is exactly what we were doing. We saw this start to fail and then we start looking for buys. Just in case this holds up, you don't want to be buying into a trap. All right. And then now we have a phenomenal area of interest for shorts. We have this blue line as my draw. We have a few areas below that will serve as a clean area for a retest. And that's what I'm looking for on the short. Hopefully we don't hit those levels before this pullback, because if they continue to sell here, I'll be forced to look for buys down in here. Not bad, man. Not bad. But we need a deep retracement here. Or maybe this fair value gap holds, but I hate using fair value gaps because they're so wishy-washy, man. You'll see a fair value gap hold up and still get mollywopped on the retest. So far, these gaps look fine, though. Are you seeing any fake outs and fair value gaps? No. Tap into this bullish gap and it continues. Tap into this bearish gap, continue. So yeah, maybe price taps into one of these bearish gaps and holds. We'll see. So far, the gap integrity for this session has been fire. Like, you don't see price pretend to respect the gap and then get slammed through. It's holding these gaps really nicely here. This gap never gave itself a chance, just got ripped through. I guess you see one here, bearish gap, driving to it, pretend to go lower, flip it. So bearish gap, pretty much the only one I see doing stuff like that. Bullish gap, tap and go. We're chilling. We're chilling. All right, here we go. Starting to see that push higher, man. If this turns into a clean profile here, can't argue with these shorts, and it's worth a try, right? If it fails, then you're just like, well, today was extremely bullish. I'm okay with that. But because we're shorting inside of that initial bearish move from this morning, we waited for the early sellers to get manipulated. And then you see that the buys are overextended. And now you're seeing this over aggressive move right back into rebalancing mode here. Yeah. So how I'm going to play this is very simple. Very, very simple. We have, let's go get this same market structure level here. I would love to see price retest in there. All right. And then you have this 30-minute candle, which just opened. Make this, I'll take this here. So that level right there is important to me. 30-minute candle opening price, because if we are bullish, that'll start to give us issues, right? You'll start to see price reject off of here. So let's say I get into a short and I see price won't break this level. I can get out of my short and just call it a day, because price will probably aggressively expand higher. And then you have this 5-minute down close candle, right? So this range is the exact same as that 30-minute candle open. So if price can give us a move through here, let's say I shorted up here and price breaks through here, then that's going to tell me, all right, just hold your short and look for something down in here. This is excellent. So what's going to happen is either we're going to drive, I want to say, all the way back down into one of these 5-minute gaps, maybe a 10-minute. Oh goodness, it is a 10-minute gap here. This is tough, bro. This could be an aggressive continuation, right? We've seen this before. Or this could be a premature buy. We'll see here. We'll see. I think we'll get to see my model in full effect here. I want to see price close through this up close candle here. And if I'm going to wait for that, I might as well wait for price to get up under this blue line too. And then I can just cover this high with a tight stop. If that's 55, give me 65 points. And then I just look for my 1.5. All right. So that way I'm extra safe here, because if price wants to continue at a premium, meaning that if the bullish order flow can still remain dominant way up in the upper half of this move, then so be it. I can't fade that, you know what I mean? And it looks like it is going to rip this. Let's see. It looks like a lot of pressure, but it's still inside of here. So let's see. Let's see. How did this 30-minute candle close? We closed with one bearish candle in this entire 30-minute run. 1 hour run. We got maybe 2 or 3 bearish candles. So that's kind of why I'm hesitant to short unless I see A+, rejection here, because the bullish momentum is way too obvious right now. But I don't think many people are thinking short right now. That's the one thing I like about this setup. There we go. Yeah, if we can start breaking through this black line right here, closing through these up close candles on the 1-minute chart. Remember, we saw that on the 5-minute chart in this area already right here with this first 5-minute closure, right? So I was expecting to pull back into here. If this holds up, I have to short it and just live with whatever the results are. 65. NASDAQ looks a little bit weaker. I'm looking for shorts at 24,724. I love this rejection right now. Let's see what happens here. 24,724. And I can take off these indicators. 65 points on the stop would be 4 micros, make it 8. Excellent. 25,724. Even 20. 25,720. 65 point stop. gonna be tough though. You want to see aggressive moves here. The fact that it's taking so long is kind of a red flag. You want to see price on its horse here. Seven two zero. All right. What's ES have to say about these shorts? ES looking good, but we still have this nice wick here maintaining price. We still have this up close candle here maintaining price. No real violent move lower just yet. Yeah, we're chilling, kid. This could easily try to just continue higher. And I kind of want to play higher. It's just like, dang, bro, give me a good entry price. I have to stick to that. You know what I mean? Like, entry price is king, bro, when you're trading. I don't care if you know 1,000,000% where price is going to go. Show me your entry price. I don't want to hear about you knowing where it was about to go. What was your feel? That'll let me know if you're legit or not. You know what I mean? So I have to hold myself to that each and every day. No more like mishaps on that. 2025 was enough, right? So when you go into the new year, that's a good time to just lock in. This is already starting to look like it's going to be bullish, man. Yeah, I might as well go ahead and scale back here. It's 11:45. Pretty much buyers are still marching, no issues here. But I'm open to the shorts simply because we're still in this range here. The last few up close candles here before price sold off. You see we get a drive into it. You get a nice rejection, but we haven't shown that shift that I want to see. A strong move through bullish candles. So far, kind of, but notice this wick is still maintaining. Same over here. If price is going to short, it can still short, right? It's just a matter of time. You need to see price give you that legitimate move. That 1 minute candle closing. Now we're paying close attention here. Still in, yeah. Yeah, let's see if we can get a closure underneath any of these 5 minute candle lows here. And then I'll be hip for the short. And then make sure there's nothing major underneath, right? Yeah. I don't see much stopping price. 50% should be highlighted, as a matter of fact. We got 50% sitting right at midnight, so I'll keep that in mind. And it looks like we're gonna get this short here. Really nice flipping through here. Yeah, let me get this. Uh-oh, don't wick it. Come on. Come on, kiddo. There you go. And I can cover this low with what? I can go 60 points, kid. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. I can go 60 points on my stop here. And I can get filled around price of this 730. Yeah, I can get filled around 730. We just closed the 5 minute candle. Let's get underneath this bearish candle here. And I'm gonna try this short. I love the rejection. Just looking for a little more follow through. 30 minute candle body would be the red line. All right, yeah. And then the 30 minute candle body over here would be. All right, yeah. Let me go ahead and Come on, give me a closure. Got a nice wick there. Price tries to run here. I'm gonna try this. Let's see here. 30-minute body price. Let's see here. Yeah, give me that short, kid. Give me that short. Give me that short. And let's see what Price has up his sleeve here. Can we catch a nice move here? Put an alert at this low for ES. And put, like I said, 60-point stop, 4.8, beautiful. 1.5 R would be near this midnight price. All right, nice. And then that'll be TP. oh. Don't do me like that. Look at what it's bouncing off of. I love the speed here, but the speed just kind of makes me think it's fake. Let's get back up underneath these candles here, kid. And let's get that follow through with some speed lower. We have a few order blocks that I would love to see hold up here. Got that 1 minute order block here. Put my stop in. About 60 points there. And I'm looking for the cool part about this is the shorts are fire. The scary part about this is where price is bouncing right now. We just bounced very, very strongly off of that 30-minute open price here. And I don't like that. If we hold that level, that's going to be a problem. So I want to see price tap into this bearish area right now like it has, reject, and then close underneath this wick to confirm that, okay, we tried to find some strength here and failed. But right now, that's a very, very strong bounce from that opening price, bro. And I might have to cut this and see if I can just re-enter. If that, yeah, kid, yeah, just save yourself a headache. Because if this level breaks, I'll short it for sure. But if it doesn't break, I don't want to be in this short. So let's give it a chance to break right now. Come on, just go break it. Oh my goodness, yeah, that's not good. Get me out of that. Phew, this is about to play dirty. I will wait for this level to break here. My goodness, bro. Watch I top tick this and I get out right when it flips this low. It's crazy, kid. Look at how minute these details are, but yet you're seeing a lot of speed from this simple 30-minute open price. Come on, kid. I would much rather see the shorts here. There we go. Look, I get out. And now when I get back in, it's going to push right back up in there. I'm going to be sad. I got to go back in here, guys. Watch it don't close through here, bro. Oh, my Lord. What is this doing, kid? Oh, my goodness. Look at how it's just not closing through it. But why are you... That's so lame, bro. Like, if this ends up doing a bunch of choppiness right now, oh my goodness, that's lame. Now I gotta eat this L. No, I don't think I want to eat this. I might cut this too. I think this confirms it's not going lower. I think that just confirmed it. Yeah. And it just cost me another $400. Stop being weird, kid. Some stuff is just so lame, bro. Part of me doesn't want to believe this is bullish, but I think we're about to find out. Yeah, part of me does not want to believe this is bullish, bro. Because why are we maintaining this area and this area? One of them needs to break here. And if I'm reading structure, there's no structure supporting this blue line, this red line. There's nothing. Right? So come on, flush for me. There's nothing. But if it builds, now if we like build order blocks here and then start closing through it, then that changes everything. But right now, there's no order blocks in here and it's still hold. Yeah, I got it. I'm gonna give this one last chance to close through this red line. If it doesn't, then I'm gonna have to just sit on the sideline until I see a strong close through it because it's gonna chop you. Bro, get out of here, bro. Yeah, let me get out of here. It's slowly eating away at these sellers. And I'm a seller. Bro, this is so lame, kid. I think I got my answer. It's not going lower. I just got chopped up for $1,000. Get out of here, bro. I'm out early. Let's wait. Oh my goodness, kid. Yeah, I can't short this until I see it close. Oh my goodness, kid. If this ends up breaking this low, I think somebody's watching me, kid. Because otherwise, there's no point of all of this, bro. I don't think we're going lower because we've tapped into way too much bearish order flow for it to be bouncing off of this. We should have sliced through this with no remorse. Instead, it's just bouncing and eating up these. Yeah, I don't see it going lower here. Oh my goodness, bro. $1,000 chop. And then they're still holding both ends of the puzzle here. Why is it so stupid, bro? It like waited for me to get involved to get stupid. What is all of this? Red line refuses to break. I enter twice, anticipating a closure through it. And if we end up closing through it, I'm gonna punch a wall, bro. Like, what are you doing? Look at it. This is the definition of let's waste everyone's time. I kind of want to just buy it just because I know it doesn't want to break here. But that would be stupid. Let me get off that 1 minute, bro. That 1 minute's gonna make me upset. We have 6 minutes left in this candle. All right, maybe we're just waiting for this 30-minute candle to close and then we'll go lower. All right, we have 11:30 bearish. No, this is gonna be a bullish candle. Yeah, bro, it's not going lower. This candle is gonna close bullish, and we're gonna keep going towards these highs. Simply put. So let me stop looking for these shorts before you blow your account. It's such a scam, bro. You see how it can just pick and choose wherever it wants to go? It decided, we're gonna build structure right here. Same way it did here. Floats in the middle of thin air, finds a fair value gap, and then it builds those order blocks. But the sad part is it doesn't even break and retest. It just builds order blocks and then just goes. That's all we needed. Just put a footprint here and go. Bro, this is so... I might stop trading on Mondays in general. Market just completely ignores everything because it knows it'll be back later in the week for it. Like, I can almost guarantee all of this in here is going to get hit later in the week. These areas are being printed for a few days down the road. So if you're trading today and you're looking at them, it's just throwing you off because price doesn't even care about this right now. Same thing up here. We're going to start probably printing more bullish structure and just take off. Don't even retest it because it doesn't care about these setups at the moment. And that kind of throws me off mentally because I'm a break and retest guy. So if I see price leaving behind these types of moves, I know it's coming back. Hard part is it coming back today or a different day? It looks like it's going to be a different day here. I'm almost mad at this, and I shouldn't be. Three minutes until 11. I'm sorry, until 12. And that'll be 30 minutes left in stream. I took these wicks here. Got chopped out for like $350 each. Look at this, bro. This is not bearish. When you see stuff like that, that's bullish. When you see stuff like that where it just randomly falls, that's bullish. It's coming back to finally mitigate an area of interest for the first time. Only way I believe that's bearish is if price actually closes through these up close candles and gets underneath here. So this is the line in the sand here. If you're short, don't even bother it any other way. Yeah, needs to close underneath here if you're truly bearish, mister. Anything above it is a fake out lower. And this candle right here is like, just look at it. From 11:30, we get a down close candle, and then we get a bullish close. So this down close candle is the heart of your candle. But then when you look over here on ES, it's not a down close candle, it's an up close candle. So where's the down close candle? Here. You need to see a closure above it on NASDAQ, which we did, and on ES. So this becomes your bullish profile here. If you're bullish, you can look for a continuation off of here. All right. And like I mentioned, because this area right here seems to be holding up still, you have to pay attention to potential market structure shifts in this area, which you get a market structure shift. You get an order block. But what price is failing to do here is tap into this bearish order block and then break through the 30-minute open price here. So if I pull this blue line right here, price, you see it's literally right on the tick. Perfect reaction from this 30-minute opening price. So the fact that you see that, it changes the narrative for the short. Now you're starting to look for reasons to buy, and it'll be obvious if price is bullish. It'll maintain here. It'll give you a 5-minute zone, which we see. Right, you see this 5-minute zone developing, and now we're just waiting for 12 o'clock to push into here and confirm that this is still bullish. If it's not, I'll short it. If we get up under here and retest all that good stuff, I'll short it. But I really think the buys are gonna kick in here, open lower. Here we go. 12 o'clock opens, drives right into bullish territory. We may even make a low here, put another wick in this area, and then start shifting structure. Look at it go, bro. Crazy. Let's see. Do we actually get a close and a strong move through here? This is crazy, kid. Let's see if this wicks like we anticipated will. A good wick and flip. Right? Yeah, we had this. Boom. Boom. Close above it once. Close above it here. Yeah. Need to see a strong reaction here. Same thing we just saw. There we go. Yeah, I need to see more speed through it. And then I'll be looking for this is tough, bro. Why is it so lame? Notice price giving you the best of both worlds here. You just broke structure again on the short. The reason I'm giving up on the shorts for the most part is how long it's taking for them to play out. This happened at 9:30 to 10. We got a retest of this zone at 11. Right? 11 to 11:30, we break structure. 11:30 to 12, we accumulate inside of that structure. So we really haven't eliminated the shorts just yet. But this level keeps holding. So I want to see us, there we go. Yeah, if we can get like a sweep, try to go higher, and then still end up closing through here, then I may try that short. And that'll be it for me today. I can't deal with this if it doesn't want to pick a side. Somewhere down in here. 75 point stop. 1.5 are minimum. But if we can maintain this low, we need to see price make a new high here, break structure, which kind of ruins the buy. That's why I don't like the buys, because just think about it. If we break structure, then we're now taking out this liquidity. So it could literally sell off right after taking those highs. And I don't want to be buying it after it's hitting these higher time frame levels. So that'll be it. Yeah, either I'm going to short this because it maintains this range right here. Right, we have this order block right here that was formed. Right, we have this 1 minute fair value gap that was formed right now that price is tapping into. Either those levels are going to hold and we short, or no more trades for me, because the buys are going to be too much of a risk, knowing that all of this under here is unmitigated, knowing that we're in bearish territory, and then knowing that if we try to buy it after we take this high, you're pretty much cooked. And honestly, that's probably what's going to happen. Let's say we do take this high. I think we sell off for sure. So it's either going to sell here or it's going to sweep this high and then sell. I can't really see it just buying up and continuing. If it does that, then that right there is not a clean profile. Just walk away. So that's what I'll do here. Zoom in on NASDAQ. I'm locked in on the short, 75 points on the stop. And do I have a daily loss limit? I don't think I have a daily loss limit on these accounts. So another $1,000 on these shorts. Actually, that's a terrible idea. These shorts look a little bit suspect at this point. They're taking forever, right? But I don't want that to ruin this idea. It's taking a little bit longer, but the setup is still, if I compare this to all my other trades, the only thing that's different is how long it's taking, which could spice up the trade and make it drop even further, right? Price manipulates for so long that it could free fall, or it could be the opposite. Price manipulated so long, basically telling you that price was not going to go lower. If it does go lower, it might sweep this low and then chop. There's no way to really know, right? So that's why you just play the trade, see what happens. I think I'm gonna go lower on my risk. I'll probably just do 500, so 4 contracts, 5 contracts. Cut some risk off because I like the setups that are fast once they hit my level, right? Once they hit your level, quick, boom. But if you look here, we see this has been 30 minutes. This has been 60 minutes. So this could be that 90-minute delivery after tapping into this key level here. Same way we saw a 60-minute over here. The last 90 minutes completed the job. So maybe we get that flip here with that SMT at the high. Maybe, let's see. I like how this gap is holding. It's just so slow for whatever reason right now. Yeah, this is trash. Price just like it refuses to go lower. Even with proper structure, it's still refusing to go. It's just absorbing these shorts right now. This blue line is the heart of this trade. But I'll take it, yeah. If I ended up getting no other positions, this is where my notes are gonna tell me I made a mistake right here, right? You could, I can't even say I made a mistake because of this rejection up here, you can short this and keep your eyes on this blue line. If it, holds up, you get out of the trade early. However, the one mistake I would say I did make, I entered 2 different times without this closing. The first time, all right, I get it. But the second time was here. I kind of, or somewhere in here, yeah. Second time, I guess I jumped the gun because we still didn't close through it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different times. So yeah, that cost me $400. Other than that, the first attempt, I completely respect that short attempt. Got out early, watching this rejection. That was starting to become a red flag. Second attempt, bad move. I should have waited for a definite closure because clearly it wicked me. And then here, I don't know if I'll get another attempt, but for sure, if I do short it, it has to be below this black line. And then see what happens. Come on, ES, set the tone. Break this level. I would love for this to short and just reward me for such an excellent read on price today. I made this tiny slip up here, but I think I can make it back if these levels start breaking. Here we are back at the blue line, closing right at the blue line. Bro, this is such a scam, bro. How does it do this? It holds above the line the entire candle, waits until it gets right up into it to close. Like, how does it do this, bro? Why not just, if you're bullish, go ahead. So what's happening now is like, okay, I can see what's happening. I think we're gonna go bullish, kid. What's happening is we're generating these highs and we're still maintaining this level. Remember, we already have a 5-minute profile here. All we need is the 1 minute to start matching that 5-minute. So if we start breaking these highs here without breaking and closing through these lows, then that's gonna tell me, ding, 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 you can look for something like this. If it takes that high, pulls back before taking out those highs, then you can start looking for buys over here. Like that. All right, so we closed through that blue line. Now we're sweeping out this low. Let's see what happens here. Let's see, the ES do the same. All right, we close through the blue line. We sweep out these lows. Let's see if we get another strong reaction, or do we actually try to continue here? I think I'm gonna sell that, yeah. Think I'm short, guys. Short again at 708. And now this one, I just have to let this one play out. I don't see any reason why 708. This will be a 75-point stop again. Not really, bro. I'm tripping. That's a 65-point stop max. 65 points on the stop, 4 micros. Let me add one more micro to this. And 60. And I'm looking for so much speed here, guys, that it's not even funny, bro. 1.5. And it could have been so simple. This should have been my first attempt at the short. This level right here just wanted to play so hard to get, bro. That's tough, bro. Trading, this is what makes trading hard. It's not the concepts, it's the actual price action. It'll give you so much of nothing for no reason. Oh my goodness. Like even here, like watch we start wicking off of this low just to give you a headache. I want to see price at least revisit. Look at 10 a.m. down here, guys. Look at the previous weekly low. Remember that shelf that we drew? Yeah, so I'm looking for at least this level right here. 1.5 R. At least. And then, like I said, 65, 70 point stop is appropriate. Cover that internal high, cover that zone. All right, and then just see what happens, bro. The buys had a chance to continue. Instead, we finally break that level. And it looks like the 5-minute chart is going to be closing soon. I want to see this 5-minute candle close underneath everything that we just highlighted. Okay, so essentially you don't want to see this wick. You want to see a nice closure through this blue line, a nice closure through these up close candles, and that should open the door for lower. A wick here almost confirms that we're just not going lower today. And it looks like it might wick. We got a minute left though. We'll see how this minute goes. If it can follow through, we'll be all right. And I'm looking at, like I said, 50% is at midnight here. I'm looking to close out around midnight. 1.5 RR 70.6. Yeah, so that'll be decent. You could even honestly, like 50% is where you could TP out also. Midnight price 24,622. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, didn't take that low yet. And then if we're looking like at structure here, where's the swing point? It's way down here. Like there's nothing. Unless price wants to just float and fill in a gap and take off, which it can happen. We've seen that happen. Price taps into a gap where there's nothing else in there. Just pure gap activity and bounce. All right, so we've seen that. That happens. I'm just cooked here, but I like to trade order blocks. I think order blocks are more dominant than gaps. So the fact that we tap into an order block, we print all these order blocks. We have this 30-minute order block forming. Should be 10-minute order blocks. Oh, this is tough, bro. I need to see a strong close, kid, on every time frame here. 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute. You know what I mean? That right there is a sign of continuation. If we close through on the 1 minute and the 5-minute, but then the 10-minute and the 15-minute give us a nasty wick, that's actually probably going to end up going against us. So 10-minute chart here, I need to see you close strongly, kid. Come on, kid. I'm on the right side of the market, I would assume. I would love to see you at least push. Remember this shelf right here? This idea of the Quasimodo? That could pave the way. That would be very nice to see here. We got these wicks in here, so I would say probably somewhere up in here. See if price can pull down into there. Instead, we're getting wicks But we are trading back into this previous 5 minute here. 3 minutes left in this candle. You want to see a tap and go here. Tap into that bearish profile and continue lower. And yeah, I'm just going to let this one play out, man. I like it. We got some clean structure up ahead of us. We don't have much stopping us from going lower. I would love to see at least midnight get blasted, but because price has been so bearish, you know what I mean? My TP is a little bit lower than midnight. We got that 6 a.m. price here, which was a good reference point as well. So we're just looking for lower, bro, like aggressively lower. And that's that. Let's go 5 minute. See what we're working with here. Take off a lot of these indicators. I had everything to be real. I would love to see price trade back through these lows, but we know, like I said, today is probably going to be bullish. So I don't want to have too aggressive of a target, but I would love to see at least 50% hit here. Midnight price, something. Because we are way too bearish to just keep going higher. You know what I mean? Like, even though we're bullish, each bullish move should have a decent retracement. As you can see, we saw this massive bullish move. That was very bullish. It still got slapped in the face. Let's slap these buyers down a bit here. Back to the 608 area, 600s, 605s area. Come on. Where's the hammer? I need a hammer. All right. All right, so it's almost 12:30, guys, and I'm starting to think this is just not gonna go lower. So I do want to protect myself here. And yeah, if this doesn't start moving lower soon here, I'll just call it for today and give myself a better chance at tomorrow's price action. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it, guys. Yeah, I'm out of there. I'm out. I'm out. I am out. It's gonna be like minus 1200 for me. And that's only because I'm going heavy risk. I'm trading evals, so my risk is heavier than live account or funded account would be. So it is what it is. But at the same time, this is starting to look like a very bullish profile. So let me get out here. All right, yeah. Great exit. Oh my goodness. Look at how much of a scam this is, kid. So I'm just not feeling it. I think price is gonna continue higher. Let me get off of these charts. Come back tomorrow and I'll probably end up getting some new evals just so I can start fresh on those. But I don't think this is worth any more shorts. Look at this 30-minute candle wick here. Beautiful wick. Starting to look like, all right, 12:30 just hit. What do we get? Right at the last minute, we start flipping these bearish candles. So that's telling me price is just reluctant to go lower. We get this market structure shift here on the 1 minute. I would say this order block right here is where you want to look for buys. Price had way too many opportunities to go lower. Way too many opportunities. And then remember this level over here. So this down close candle, notice what we do. We just sweep it and we fail to get underneath it. Right? We sweep this level. Fail to close through it. If I'm looking at NASDAQ, I'll say that we drove into here. We didn't break any structure. We didn't break any structure until now. Now you get this break of structure. Now the shorts are starting to look like a waste of time. You see price start flipping here. You can try that buy with a tight stop, 50 points, and then you're just aiming for higher day or something like that, right? But the sad part about this is beautiful sell structure, beautiful sell location, beautiful sell everything. Only problem is price is refusing to go lower right now. Doesn't mean that price is, specifically bullish. It just means that price is not ready to drop right now. You could see a drop an hour from now. You can see a drop right now. You can see a drop at any moment. And that's why you want to play the shorts. The shorts are the ones that are going to be randomly explosive. You know what I mean? But I think today's just trash. I could have gotten a better entry here. I probably would still be in these shorts with my stop sitting up here somewhere. Like ideally, this should have been my entry. Stop up here, 70, 75 points. And then I could just walk away from that and just target my 1.5. You know what I mean? That would be ideal. But when you take those two losses here, like I did, prematurely entering the short, right? That changes how I manage my trades now. Like I gave the shorts one more chance here, but when you see price start playing hard to get, you gotta respect it and just get out. And it may shake you out of a really good short. Like this might end up free falling and I'll miss it. But the delivery wasn't the best, so I'm okay with missing this one. Understanding that I gotta just come back a different day. So that's the game plan. We'll be back tomorrow. See if I can do a lot better with my timing on these shorts next time. But clean read on price. And I'll continue to be aggressive on my ideas simply because I'm trying to get through these evals as fast as possible. All right, that wraps it up for me. Let me screenshot this. I took 3 shorts in here. I wanted those shorts, kid. Fair enough, right? I took shorts in here, got stopped out a few times. Early exits, didn't want to hold through these levels here. Something was off. All right, cool. Screenshot this, download. And that's it for today. Hopefully, if somebody learned something, looking to make this week a green week, right? Monday is just the first day of a full trading week. I got chopped in here. Can't happen again. See what happens tomorrow. I'll catch you guys then. God bless. Later.